Greetings from the warm and beautiful U.S. Virgin Islands. My name is Wilma Lewis, and I am so very pleased to join in congratulating, celebrating, and paying tribute to your honoree and my very dear friend, Leslie Turner. Leslie and I have known each other for over 25 years now, getting closer to 30 years. We first became acquainted back in the early 1990s. At that time, Leslie was a young, or I guess I should say younger, since of course she's still young, but a younger lawyer working as an associate at a prestigious Washington, D.C. law firm, and I was a younger lawyer as well, working as an assistant United States attorney in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia. And as it turned out, back then we ended up as opposing counsel on a matter that was pending at that time. And I got to know Leslie in that capacity as a very serious, tenacious, dedicated, zealous advocate on behalf of her clients. And she and I duked it out, and she was definitely a formidable opponent. Then in 1993, I left the U.S. Attorney's Office and went over to the legal counsel's office at the U.S. Department of the Interior. And Leslie had actually joined the Department of the Interior, I believe, a few months before I had done so. And lo and behold, I get to the Department of the Interior and learn that the legal division that I was in charge of was responsible for serving as counsel to the assistant secretary position that Leslie was holding. So in effect, we had gone from opposing counsel to working hand in glove with each other, with Leslie as the client and with me as her counsel. And it is from that professional relationship that our personal relationship actually developed. One evening, I was sitting in my office and Leslie came by to talk business. And over 2 hours later, we realized that we had long since passed the business and gotten to pleasure. We chastised ourselves because we thought that we certainly should have taken that conversation from the office to a restaurant and had dinner. And we vowed that we would do that in the future, and boy, did we ever do that. Many, many, many times, and enjoyed many great experiences together. And over those many years, I got to see all sides of Leslie Turner as she did of me. We laughed and cried together. We traveled together. We enjoyed each other's family members. And through it all, I got to experience that warmth that is Leslie Turner. The kindness, the giving nature that she so often expresses. And I got to see the fun side and the crazy side of Leslie Turner as well. Yeah, Leslie can be pretty crazy, but I can't tell you about those experiences because that's classified information. So I'm going to move on from that. Suffice it to say that Leslie and I have had a wonderful, wonderful friendship for many, many years. But you know, when I think about Leslie, one of the things that I think about most is the concept of true friendship. You know, true friends don't come along every day. They are the ones who are there. They show up in good times and in bad. In challenging times, they show up. They're the ones for whom their schedules take a back seat whenever they know that a friend is in need. That's the type of person that I'm talking about. That's the type of relationship that I'm talking about, a true friendship. There's so many experiences that Leslie and I have had that make me say that I think of true friendship when I think of Leslie Turner. But there's one that always stands out in my mind. And that's when my father was very ill in the hospital around the time of his passing. Leslie at the time was in Atlanta and I was in DC. And she called regularly to check up on his status. And one day I called her to update her on the status, and she said to me, "I'll be there tomorrow morning." And sure enough, she packed her bags, got on that plane, and flew from Atlanta to DC, and was in fact there the next morning. Not only the next morning, but throughout. She came to the Virgin Islands for the funeral and was there not only for the funeral, but to provide support and assistance before. I remember so vividly sitting with Leslie at about midnight the night before the funeral services as we proofread and proofread some more the funeral service booklet that had to be just so. And I remember as well that after leaving the printers after midnight, we turned around at about 4 o'clock in the morning and returned to the printers to pick up the final version. So that's what I'm talking about. And that's why I put Leslie in the category of true friend. And so I say to all of you at Manor College, all of you who have already been associated with Leslie, and those of you who will get to know her, that I think you've struck gold by becoming associated with Leslie Turner. You've struck gold in my mind, not only from a financial perspective, but more importantly, I'm focusing really on the person who Leslie is. You will find that she will be a true friend, and I'm sure that many of the qualities that I saw in her that makes me classify her as a true friend, you will find in her as well as you continue your journey together. So kudos to you, Manor College, for your association with Leslie Turner. And Leslie, keep on doing what you're doing. Love and blessings to you. And congratulations again on what is a most deserving and most appropriate honor. Take care.